What's up again, guys? Yo, it's me, Dovahkiin, and welcome back to my Anno 2205 miniseries. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Okay. In the previous episode, I showcased and talked about my second sector, Accia Flows, and its sector project for logistics. In today's vid, I'm gonna discuss my next one, Mare Relictum, and as you saw in the intro drone shot, it's a lunar sector, so the mechanics here are different from the last one. But before I open it, here are its details. Like Wild Water Bay, this one contains the biggest island. Well, for the moon, we call them craters. The single crater has a buildable area of 63,800 acres, and it has 16 building sites. Its project for ornamentals has nothing to do with my choice. I chose it as my starting lunar sector because, again, it's big, and it has to support Wild Water Bay. As per credit balance, Mare Relictum is bleeding my corporation with 130,000 plus credits. The deepest money pit among my sectors, but as I've said before, losing money is normal in the Arctic and lunar regions. As per population, on the other hand, my total miners and offices there is at 8,000 plus. On energy, somewhat like my other lunar sectors, it has a surplus of 20,000 plus. But mind you, I have never overproduced. Achieving the holy grail of zero balance in goods and energy was what I did, but all these surpluses came from my full domination of the stock market. Too bad, cause you can't sell energy in the global market. And in my opinion, that goes against the premise of the game. The world is in a fucking energy crisis, for Christ's sakes. And you should be able to sell energy. Right. Stupid decision by the devs. Now on its roll on my corporate goods network. Mare Relictum supplies the needs of Wild Water Bay and Cape Ambar. Namely, rare earth elements, bio-enhancers, anti-grav compensators, and energy. But as per its temperate needs, Wild Water Bay is its sole supplier of rejuvenators, IntelliWare and androids. For the Arctic, on the contrary, it supplies energy to Accia Flows, and in turn, gets its deuterium from there. And similar to Wild Water Bay and Accia Flows' roles, it is also the goods hub of my lunar region, but obviously for moon goods instead. All surplus goods from other sectors get forwarded there. If there are deficits in other lunar sectors, however, Mare Relictum acts as its supplier as well. Therefore, it is also the one that deals with the global market. By the way, here's my goods panel in Mare Relictum. And as I've mentioned time and again, the ones with zero surplus are the ones I'm selling to the global market. Okay. Let's enter Mare Relictum. Again, there is only one crater here, and it's the biggest one on the moon. For housing, on the other hand, it has a different mechanic than that of the Arctic, but significantly more forgiving, however. Here in the moon, you can build your houses and facilities separately, like in the temperate region, but you have to cover them with shield generators. There are two sizes though, the small one, and the large one. Small shield generators are available at the start, but although my housing layout here requires the large one which are unlocked later, you can still use them temporarily in this layout. Like my temperate housing layout, this is also in cluster format, which means that you can combine clusters to form a city. A cluster has an area of 58 by 58 tiles, and although it has a space efficiency rating of just 59%, that ain't an issue, cause what really matters is the coverage of the large shield generator. And all 72 houses, including the 2 maintenance stations and the health center, are all fully within its area. By the way, this layout is universal for all my lunar sectors. And, as you can see, I really don't need to build many clusters here in Mare Relictum. 3 is enough. The additional houses surrounding the launch pad though, or the engineering institute, doesn't even comprise a full cluster, maybe just a quarter. So in total, I'd say only 3.25 clusters. Alright, let's visit my production zones, and we'll start at the northeast. Here lies my titanium plating, oxygen, and bio-enhances production. And obviously, there's nothing notable about my titanium plating and oxygen industries, but for bio-enhances, this is my general layout. A block consists of 2 cybernetics factories, and 6 maintenance modules, but that depends on the coverage of the 2 small shield generators. Some blocks actually only require 1 generator, so one factory may have 4 modules. Anyway, going back to titanium plating, which is another construction material. I don't produce them anywhere but here, so if I need them elsewhere, I just export them from this sector. Now east of that, you can find my moon crops, lunar lunch, and fusion power cells factories, and there's nothing fancy about their layouts. Farther east is my anti-grav compensators production, which also has nothing notable. And lastly, here at the west, where my energy facilities reside, the ones powering up Wild Water Bay, Akia Flows, and Cape Ambar. And this is my special layout. A block is made up of a large shield generator, sandwiched between 2 fusion reactors. And obviously, like what I have here, which is a no-brainer, their maintenance modules should all be finance calculators. As I've talked about back in episode 1, when I fully detailed the stock market. Dominating each industry rewards you with unlimited branded modules. So all my finance calculators across the moon are Lei Shengs, which tremendously cheapened the credit maintenance of my fusion reactors, down to just $75. If you don't have Lei Sheng, or even just the normal finance calculators, maintaining a fusion reactor, with all its 6 reactor coolers, will cost you a whopping 18,750 credits. Yes, that's how overpowered Lei Sheng financial calculators are. Again, on my massive energy surplus, though I have 3 power plants, I have never overproduced. Before conquering the stock market, I have just enough energy. Though now, you can argue that I should just demolish some of my reactor coolers, cause they're useless. But having a complete fusion reactor looks better than a partial one. Right. Besides, they only cost 75 credits, so why the hell not? Now, let's talk about this sector's details. For random sector traits, my Mare Relictum has Sheltering Crater, which makes all my shield generators 30% energy efficient. I know that right now, this trait doesn't matter, but back at the start when fusion reactors were still unavailable, this trait made things significantly easy. And I have it since the beginning, cause I forced it to spawn. of which process I disclosed back in episode 2. By the way, I didn't bother to geo-engineer this to something else once I became overpowered, cause it doesn't matter anyway. Alright, now let me discuss Mare Relictum's sector project.
You can keep all the profits yourself. I'm totally fine with my role as a silent observer.
Besides gradually restoring the Moon Hotel and the 3 light show settings, you're also rewarded with 3 ornamental buildings, namely, the observation deck, combat arena, and the bungee launcher. And as you saw, this questline is given to you by the mysterious woman, who is rumored to be Adam's former programmer, your AI assistant in the orbital station. Anyhow, this is the entire questline. And like what I say, time and again, as per the quests that involve goods, you really don't have to produce them, just buy them from the global market instead. Unlike in the previous sectors that I've featured, there ain't no difficult quest in this one. I find them all relatively easy to finish. And there you go. So, like how this video started, now let's end it with another spectacular drone shot. And that's all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also, check out other videos from Sabbath Clan Philippines and don't forget to subscribe. See you on my next vid. Peace out, y'all.